sailed across the ocean for like 3 months. No one knew anything about it. And then it showed up at Hankook Motorsports, North America in Austin, Texas, and sat in their warehouse. And then finally, now it's shipped here. Pop.
Oh, what is it?
I don't know. It's just interesting random stuff. They really just sent us trash. Finally here. This is the first thing we ordered, and it's finally here. I'm so psyched to see this thing.
As the DTM championship progressed through the late 80s into the early 90s, the competing manufacturers began to push the aerodynamic envelope. With limited power gains available, the competitive edge had to be found elsewhere, and improved aero was just the fix. Mercedes and BMW's EVO packages each debuted wild flares, wings, and bumpers on the 190e and M3 street variants in 500-unit runs just to meet the DTM rules. This resulted in a championship-deciding effect. The performance gained through aero development was paramount in the success of the Mercedes, while producing the signature DTM look that has become an integral part of any 190e build.
So we just took delivery of some pretty awesome race car parts. They took about 3 months to come across the ocean, but they're finally here, just in time. It's cool to see how wide the fenders actually are, because you see the kits and they're not that wide, and then you look at the race car and you're like, oh yeah, there's one fender. Front fender flares are absolutely massive. It's a nice arch, huh? This is my favorite angle right now. Honestly, this transition is just so cool. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Now, I honestly just wish we had the car here. I'd love to bolt this stuff up and just see what it looks like. But the cage and the exhaust system are getting finished up at the fab shop. We're gonna bring these guys down to Pennsylvania. We're gonna test fit them on the car. Cannot wait to see what it's gonna start to look like. We're gonna pluck the engine out. We're gonna bring the engine back here, set it up on a table, and we're gonna get it all refreshed with some nice FCP Euro parts, making sure that engine's gonna handle getting started up and running up to temperature for the first time. So yeah, it's all starting to come together. It's been a lot of waiting, a lot of fingers crossed, but we're excited, we're gonna do it.
While the team at FCP Euro headquarters had been stuck waiting for the EVO II body panels to arrive from Europe, the team at JPC Fabrication was busy getting a head start on the extensive to-do list. The 190e needed work done on its custom steering shaft, engine supports, and radiator support, as well as installation of its custom roll cage, all within a short time frame. Luckily, the team knocked most of that out in just a few weeks and had the car nearly complete by Nate's arrival with the new flares and fenders.
All right, so here we are, JPC. James and the team have worked a couple weeks on the car so far. You can see there's some tabs here, little bungs put in for the radiator just to make sure it's mounted. Same thing went on the radiator. And then coming over here, you'll see the steering column. You can see that bearing is actually fitted in. So there's actually a boss piece that's been welded in place there to mount that triangle bearing in place. You can see there's the exhaust system hanger, so there's a brace to mount the exhaust system at that point, right in the back. And you come up, you'll really see the lion's share of the work that's been done over the last couple of weeks. You can see that we have most of the cage installed, so it's passing through the rear firewall, it's all sealed up. We have the main hoop, we have diagonals, we have the little gussets, all the nice bars in the back, nice X. Have a dash bar, the steering wheel is mapped out and ready to be mounted to the crossbar. I mean, that seems about right there.
That's pretty good?
Yeah, that's good. Here.
Okay.
You want to attack it real quick, or you want?
Now just mark it. That shouldn't change anything.
No, honestly, it's staying in place right now. I'll just let go. Some finish welding done on the front engine brace. Right here we have the turbo brace, which is made in the same spirit of this. So strut towers have been completely reinforced. This is going to make it really easy to get the W204 dampers. Basically that we're slated to use the car right in here. We're going to put little ears on here. This is all super strong, all tied into the cage. It's going to make this car super stiff, super easy to drive. Yeah, it's just going to be a nice, simple trick setup. It's just the way old touring cars should be. There's going to be some finish work done on this fuel cell mount right here. Make sure this fuel cell is all mounted in properly. Final things to be done here, we're going to put a crossbar for a harness bar, and then the door bars need to go in, the door X's, and a couple gussets, and the cage is all set. Car's going to be going off to the paint shop. Now, we also have the body kit over here. So this one needs a lot of trimming right here. You can see this overlap here. We're going to have to cut this whole little section out to make sure it fits the body panels here. So this is all gonna have to get cut out all the way up here and then folded over and pinch welded all the way around before the car goes to paint to make sure these panels fit properly. So we test fit the wing, obviously, what you can see going on here. We have the entire 3-inch exhaust system is complete. We're bringing that back to the shop with us, get it out of their hair.
Are you feeling confident about getting it done in time?
It's gonna be right to the line. I mean, everything is, you know, taking a teeny bit longer than we expected, which is, you know, it's obviously the quality is there, so we're not upset about that. Everything looks amazing, but it's just a matter of trying to hit our deadline for Circuit Legends.
After roughly fitting the new bodywork and assisting with some fabrication, Nate stripped the shell of its engine and brought it back to FCP Euro for GridLife prep.
All right, it's about time we get this engine out of here. We're gonna go grab some tools, we're gonna get a chain, we'll pull this thing out, get it in the truck, and get on our way. Nope, the 10's missing.
At JPC, the team finished up their fabrication and sent the 190E off to its next destination, the paint shop.
We do more than just sell car parts at FCP Euro. Whether we're helping you wrench in your car over the weekend with our DIY content, whether we're putting really cool builds out on the road and out on the racetrack, or traveling around the country competing in professional motorsport, subscribe here to learn more.
Working fiberglass is a messy, time-consuming process that can frustrate even the most experienced. But a fellow BMW CCA racer's body shop in upstate New York was ready to take on the golden era's short deadline.
This kind of generation of car was the beginning of really considering aerodynamics as a big factor in racing. That's why we have these EVOs where they were changing wing angles and changing roof heights and window angles and stuff like that to make sure the car could go as fast as it could down the straight line, and it also created some downforce. We saw adjustable wings make it out into the EVO II and III BMWs and the Sport EVO BMW. We saw the adjustable wing on the EVO II Mercedes, so there's definitely the beginning of the arms race of saloon car aerodynamics. All right, so here we are at the body shop. The car has been, I think, 2, maybe 3 days here. These guys are hard at work, really fitting this body kit. There's a lot of little idiosyncrasies that need to be kind of tackled and made right. The fiberglass didn't fit all that great, so there's a lot of fiberglass work going on, but these guys are super hard at work, dedicating a lot of time, a lot of extra effort to get this car done.
All the drama of a TV show that builds a car in 24 hours, that's exactly how we felt. My name is Kevin Gilardi. I own the Mako here in Fishkill, New York.
No fiberglass panel is ever truly perfect right out of the mold, and the Golden Era Project's body kit was no exception. Over several days, the body shop filled cracks and dips with filler just to sand them out and shape them into perfectly smooth panels. Other panels were trimmed to fit perfectly against the 190E's existing panels for a seamless factory look.
Now, some of the things they've done, they've completely smoothed out the sunroof. We've cut the rear arches out nearly like 40 millimeters for clearance. So one of the things on the EVO II cars is that Mercedes wanted to run the car lower, so they cut the arches out and put these really cool looking flares on it. And so the guys are hard at work doing that right now. And then just your typical fiberglass work, there's a lot of little nips and tucks and making sure everything fits right. That's really gonna come out at the end when we see the car painted and finally wrapped. But the hard work that these guys are putting in now is what's really gonna make it look awesome at the end.
After the intense fiberglass work, the team hit the chassis with primer, sanded it smooth, and laid on a bright white paint.
I owe it to my team. An extremely short deadline, not enough time. They knocked it out, we got it done, and I think it looks awesome.
So it is towards the end of the day Tuesday. We got a lot accomplished yesterday. The car is getting wrapped currently, which is super awesome to see some green coming in here, see the Scheffler colors and the Hanks colors on the car. We're super excited to show it off, and also it's really nice to have some green in the shop. It offsets the blue a little bit. We have a lot of other projects going on. Danny's been working on the interior, so we got the dash all dyed out here. The door panels are all dyed, ready to go on. I've been doing the seat stuff, so getting the steering column located, seat mounted, shifter in the car. We got Sam over here. He's been cleaning up the subframe, so you can see the subframes all being cleaned up, getting ready for paint. We have all the ground control arms. They're gonna have to get measured and bolted onto that. And then finally, we can get the subframe back in the car so we can actually move it. Right now, we're only moving the car around with a jack, which isn't super ideal. In addition to that, rotiform showed up, and we have the rotiform wheels for demo and display. So the display wheels are getting the tires mounted right now. We got to get them ready to go, spaced out, get all right to the edge of the fenders where we want them to be. And then once we have the suspension in the car, we can really dial in ride heights and all of that sort of stuff. So all that stuff's kind of up in the air, and right now we're just really trying to dial it down. And then last thing here, we have the engine display. So that's going to be, it's all welded up and ready to go, but that needs to be painted. And then the engine needs to be cleaned up, getting all the oxidation off the aluminum, making it look really good. It's gonna be an awesome display. It's gonna be really fun to show everyone kind of how we took this front wheel drive engine, flipped it around, put it in this rear wheel drive chassis. But obviously we want that to look shiny and nice and clean for everyone over at Lime Rock and Circuit Legends. So stay tuned, about 36 hours left. It's crunch time, all hands on deck, and it's gonna be exciting.
It wasn't just the bodywork that made these cars so iconic, it was also the liveries they wore. Bright colors and distinct designs made for head-turning, unforgettable cars that commanded as much attention sitting still as they did sliding through chicanes. The artists at 8380 Design were tasked with creating an exterior scheme that harkened back to those early 90s looks, and they delivered just what the car needed and allowed the team from Rabbit Wraps to work their magic.
My name is Darius Strinka. I own Rabbit Wraps. We're a company from Massachusetts that specializes in motorsports design and vinyl wraps. Here we are at FCP Euro trying to get this beautiful car done. This is kind of a last minute deal. We have 2 days to finish this car, and it is, you know, quite a car to work on, and it's giving us some challenges. As you can see, we have lots of different lines in the car. It's not as simple as your modern day race car. Just to give an example, to wrap this car, you know, it's taking, to this stage, it's about, we're already at 16 hours. While, you know, you can see any GT4 cars, like FCP Euro's Mercedes cars, those will take about like 8 hours. So that's to give you a little comparison. So the process for making sure everything looks straight is, you know, we pick a body line, let's say a corner of the hood, and since it's printed graphic, so again, it's like one piece, the whole idea is, you know, to line this up. So we measure from this corner to this line, and same thing on that side. That way we know, you know, once the piece goes on, it's all gonna be nice and straight, so it's not gonna look crooked, which is kind of the difficulty of doing the printed stuff. More if you do graphic overlays on top, you kind of have a second chance and you have a lot of freedom to maneuver the smaller piece. With such a big piece, you know, you kind of have one shot, so measure twice, cut once kind of thing.
So it's 9:30 Wednesday night, wrap is almost done. So Darius is about to put the stickers on the car, so the actual decals, the numbers, and the Scheffler and Hengst and all the cool logos on the car. Just finished up the rear suspension. So rear suspension's in with brake rotors on. We did a quick wheel test fit, everything looks really good. So kind of getting antsy to put the car on the ground, excited about that. Did the front suspension, so we have coilovers installed, the new control arms on there, the E90 tie rods, all that sort of stuff. We actually put the proper AMG brakes on the car for the first time, so we have the calipers and the rotors, which look pretty awesome. Definitely starting to look like a real car, not just suspension, you know, scaffolded together to make it roll. Once we get that all done, we should be sitting on the ground pretty good. I think we need to put the bumpers back on. We need to put the headlights in, and I think we're about to roll off to GridLife at that point. But yeah, it's been a busy day, but it's been a super. We got a lot of stuff done. Glass was installed today, all the suspension arms, a lot of stuff cleaned up and prepped. It's coming together. But I need. Well, no. Next stop is sleep, and then a little more work, and then GridLife.
By the time GridLife Circuit Legends came around, the Golden Era project was wrapped in its livery and could roll on its own four wheels. Debuting the new build during the Motorsport Festival's first ever weekend in Connecticut's rolling hills was the perfect scenario, and the team worked hard to get it there. Sure, an incomplete drivetrain and missing wiring loom isn't exactly where the team wanted to be for a weekend filled with wild time attack machines, drift missiles, and wheel-to-wheel racers, but such is the way of building a custom race car. Luckily, partners and fans didn't mind as they viewed the project for the first time, surrounded by drivers battling it out on the challenging Lime Rock Park circuit.
First impression, amazing job. Our feedback has been outstanding, and we're really happy to be here with you guys to reveal this to everybody. Scheffler's been involved in the DTM race scene for many years. We've won a couple championships, and we're just really excited to be a part of this. This is one of the bigger projects revolving around DTM in the United States, but we are tied into all forms of DTM in Europe, all forms of motorsports, really. So. Yeah, and so this is a year first for bringing it back to the U.S. So the overall impression today has been extremely positive. A lot of questions about how the powertrain has been mated together, from the engine to the transmission. More than a couple vehicles components have been contributed to this build, and it's really just sparked the questions and allowed for some really good conversation and a lot of fun today.
Now that Circuit Legends is over, the Golden Era project is headed back to FCP Euro for completion. There was still significant work to be done between running the new wiring harness, installing the custom clutch assembly, and machining the front control arms, all in order to get the 190E fired up and driving for the first time. Follow along on the next episode of the Golden Era.
If you guys need to catch up on the Golden Era, click up here. And if you want to learn more about some of our other projects, click down here.